You're watching the All-American Racing League on the Sim World Racing Network.
Good evening, race fans, and welcome to Las Vegas, Nevada, home of the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Race number 5 for the 2025 All-American Racing League Cup Series goes 325 miles from the 1.52 mile banked Las Vegas Motor Speedway. The high limit, 325, is on the Sim World Racing Network. So glad, as always, you could join us here on Thursday, March 13th. Happy again to bring the presentation to you live from Las Vegas. As always, joining at the tail end of practice, about 7 minutes to go before we get set for qualifying here from Las Vegas. As you can see on the screen there, the standings in practice right now. James Nelson sits on top of the board with a 29.608. Right behind him, Chad Snyder in that number 26. Johnny May, Curtis Sobrin, and Greg Robinson round out the top 5 here currently. As you can see, some cars on track turning some laps there. You see the 75 in the back. That is the Nelson machine, that auto serve Ford Mustang. And on screen there with him, the 16, that is Ken Pack. And then the number 1 car, that is 4th quickest so far here in practice. That is the one of Curtis Sobrin. He will head onto the apron, heading back to pit road. But the 2 cars there on your screen, Ken Pack and James Robinson. Just over 6 minutes to go here before we get set for qualifying. So we will set the field for you momentarily here, but we'll continue to follow practice here in the last stages of it. You see right there on your screen the number 8, that's Officer Lerfano, actually headed down pit road right now. So let's see who else is on track. Looks like the Mobile Racing, University of Pittsburgh Medical Center, number 2 of Tyrone Yo goes for an through the infield there. Ooh, gets into the outside wall, so that will more than likely put him back on pit road. So we'll tune back into the only other 2 cars on track. There is, again, Ken Pack and James Nelson on the Speedway. Four races, 2 different winners so far on the year. The season started off with Travis Rodriguez going back to back to back, picking up wins at Daytona, Atlanta, and then on the road course at COTA. And then at last Thursday, you saw the one and only Dave Hillbilly Hara, Officer Hillbilly, get that monkey off his back by picking up his first win since 2023, scoring the win last week at Phoenix. Great drive by him to pick up that victory and put that number 15 Los Santos Police Department vehicle in victory lane. So we'll see if we can have another repeat winner here between one of those 2 drivers back in victory lane, or if we'll see our 3rd different winner on the year here from Las Vegas. Well, we got a quick second here. Why don't we take a look at the championship? Points coming into this, if you give me 1 second. So let's take a look here at the points coming into tonight. After 4 events, Travis Rodriguez continues to hold the points lead with 100 185 points. Right behind him is Ken Pack with 177. He is tied for second, actually, with Mike Kurzlek with 177. Sitting fourth place is the driver out of California, Chris Essery, in fourth with 159. And then last week's winner, Dave Hara, holding on to fifth in the points, 1 point ahead of the 27 machine of Cam Harris. In sixth, right, and then I guess tied with Cam also is that number 26 machine, that is Chad Snyder, rounding out the seventh. And then about 11 points back is the 30 with 139. Sorry, that is the 75 of James Nelson, and then behind him, Dave Lafana with 138 points, and the 74 of Ryan Steinhoff with 137. Greg Barnett, Tyrone Yo, Sean Horlander, Curtis Sovereign, Greg Robinson, Eric Thornton, John May, and Josh Hetricks make up that rest of that group there on screen. And then we'll see many more behind them. Ben Campbell, Tyler Nelson, Larry Garnes, and Rodney Uberpacker, all making at least one start so far this year of the races that we have seen. Now, so that is a quick look at the point standings for the All-American Racing League. As there's a shot of the number 20 machine out of Charleston, West Virginia. That is Larry Garnes. Good to have Larry back on the track with us here tonight after missing a couple of weeks. So we'll see Larry here in action tonight. Looks like so far 16 cars have signed in for tonight's high limit 325 from Las Vegas, so should be a good field here tonight. Hopefully we can have a few more cars running at the finish, although we did have a good finish to last week's race with Dave Harab, as I mentioned, picking up the win from Phoenix. But some cars unable to finish that race and wrecked out a little early in the event, so hopefully we can see more cars running at the end here tonight. Just under a minute left to go here in practice from Vegas. A couple cars still out on track. That's the Hara 15. Then right there, that is the Realtree number 4 Ford Mustang. That is Chris Essery, as mentioned, out of Bakersfield, California. Beautiful camouflage car with bright orange number on the roof and white on the side as he works his way down into turn 3 and 4. Chris always seems to be in contention when we throw the green flag here in the All-American Racing League, so look for him to be running up front again tonight. No different here at Las Vegas. So as practice wraps up here, just under about 5 seconds, what looked like quick time on the night for practice is going to be that James Nelson 75 machine with a 29.608, the fastest lap in practice. So we'll get these cars back on the pit road and we will get set to go for qualifying. 2 laps of qualifying. Fastest lap will set your starting position for tonight's event. ...214 laps around the 1.52 mile Las Vegas Motor Speedway equals 325.28 miles. Stage breaks will be at the end of lap 64 and the end of lap 132 tonight. So we should see some cars rolling out onto the track here momentarily for qualifying. Looks like we got a handful on track. There is the one machine, BMoose.org one. That is the Chevrolet of Curtis Sovereign, hitting 3 and 4 for his first 2 qualifying laps here tonight. Also on track, The Red Bull butt kicker Moza Motorsports, number 41 Ford Mustang. That's Mike Courage-Elect. And that Ford heading down into turn number 1. Also on track, the number 9 machine, Sean Horlander, is right there in that beautiful silver and black machine with the blue numbers. On track also, we got the 3 just getting up to speed, the Good Ranch Plus number 3, and the Bass Pro Shop sponsored number 3, Greg Robinson, just rolling onto the track now. As the first of 2 laps will start to be completed. It looks like Curtis will be one of the first cars complete. Lorfano sets the mark to beat at a 32.05. Sobran does that with a 29.978. A couple more cars should be coming around to complete their first lap. Horlander, we'll see where he can stop the clock. He is third quick, a 33.60 for Horlanders. Barnett quickly up into that second spot with a 31.29, the 38 machine. And then also Chevrolet Camaro of Greg Barnett sitting in second spot. A couple more cars should be coming around to complete some more qualifying laps. Looks like Curtis Sobran completed his second lap, not able to go any quicker on lap number 2. As Courage-Elect there now jumps up into second, but as I say that, Sean Horlander goes to the top of the board with a 29.947. Just as quick as he gets there, he gets bumped off the top by the 75 AutoServe Ford Mustang of James Nelson, fastest car in practice here tonight. So James will sit a provisional pole time of 29.898 with some cars still left to qualify. Larry Garnes out on track, looking to better his 9th place starting position. This time out at turn number 4 is the number 20 machine down across the line to complete lap number 2. Not able to improve on his lap time, but Ken Pack sets his first lap at 30.089 for Ken Pack, sitting in 6th position. Travis Rodriguez jumps now up into the 8th position at the end of his first lap. Chris Esri on the end of lap number 2 will go 5th quick. He jumps up there with a 30.027. It does Esri. Ken Peck, he is having a handful here off of turn number 2, so no time on lap number 2 for Ken Peck. Travis Rodriguez, though, coming out of turn number 4 down through the tri-oval. He'll complete his second lap, see if he can improve on a 9th place starting position. He does. Pole time for the Rodriguez, number 7, 29.855. For Travis Rodriguez, 3-time winner on the season already here, as it looks like no other cars on track at this point qualifying. So right now, sitting on the provisional pole of the 16 cars signed in for tonight's event, the Rodriguez number 7, 29.855 for Travis. James Nelson sitting right behind him with a 29.898. Sean Horlander third, 29.947. Greg Barnett's 29.966. And then Curtis Sobran will round out your top 5 currently with a 29.978. So it looks like everyone has made an attempt here to qualify except for Johnny May. So we'll see if he is able to get out on track to set a time. Just under 45 seconds to go here in qualifying. As I mentioned, 214 laps with the stage breaks being at the end of lap 64 and the end of lap 132 tonight. And always those stage wins, if you're lucky to do that, will pay 1 playoff point to the winner of the stage, and then you also get 10 regular season points to add to your total. So that is always a big incentive to get those stage wins, as it not only helps you here in the regular season, but will project you into a good starting position in the playoffs with bonus points for completing that. Also, the big number to watch is the 5 bonus points for winning the race here, if you're able to do that this afternoon. So it looks like time is up on qualifying. We get set to line the cars up excuse me, on pit road, or the front straightaway it actually looks like. And we will get to the starting lineup here momentarily. As you can start to see the field lining up there on the front straightaway just past the start-finish line underneath starter, as we are getting set to go. As I mentioned, 214 laps, and we'll bring you the starting lineup here momentarily once the field is set and ready to roll. As the field gets ready to roll off from the front straightaway, Travis Rodriguez, as I mentioned, will go from the start on the front row of this one. Outside him out of Harpers Ferry, West Virginia, will be James Nelson's number 75. Row 2 out of Mount Washington, Kentucky, the number 9 of Sean Horlander. Outside him from Lyman, South Carolina, that is the 38 of Greg Barnett. Curtis Sobran from Hudson, North Carolina, goes off in 5th. Chris Essery, all the way from Bakersfield, California, in row number 3, goes from 6th. Dave Hara out of Charlotte, North Carolina, in the number 15, will go from the 7th spot. Ken Pack out of Greer, South Carolina, will start 8th. Greg Robinson out of Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan, will go from the 9th spot. Louisville, Kentucky's own Mike Kurdzlak will go from row number 5 in the 10th spot. Dave Lefano out of Poland, Maine, will go off in 11th. Larry Garnes from Charleston, West Virginia, will bring it to the start line in the 12th position. Tyrone Yo out of York, Pennsylvania, will start in the 13th spot, and great to have Jim Hubble back in the field with us tonight. That 51 will roll off from 14th. Johnny May from Shenandoah, Virginia, will start in the 15th spot, and then Chad Snyder out of Mineral, Virginia, will start in the number 16th spot in that beautiful number 26 machine, as the pace truck should head towards the safety of the infield. Look for the field to be in the hand. The controls the field is in the control of the 7 car. He will roll down into the Geico restart zone. Got to wait for that starter to drop the green flag. There it is, as we are racing from Las Vegas down into turn number 1. Side by side, they stumble, bumble, and rumble here on the 1.52 mile Speedway. Looks like Travis will get a good start and get out in front of the Nelson 75 this time on the back straightaway. Door to door with that 9 car is the Horlander machine on the inside. Nelson on the outside with Greg Barnett right there barking up the back bumper. And he is now going to try to make that same move on the 75 as they work their way through the trioval down towards turn number 1 and 2. Nelson's got to settle in here. He's kind of going the wrong way on a one-way street, as now Sobran, who started 5th, will make his way by, moving that Nelson machine back to 5th here in the early running. Next car to make a move might be the S34 down into turn number 3 and 4, but Nelson able to get that machine right down to the bottom on the white line. That's going to take the run away from the S3 machine. Almost a little side-by-side contact there in the trioval between the 38 and the 9, but the 9's able to hold on to it, and he's going to lose a handful of spots. Cycle himself back in line behind the 75 here as they work off of turn number 2. Man up front, Travis Rodriguez continues to lead this one. He's got company. Greg Barnett in the 38 looks to the inside, drives it in deep through turns 3 and 4. He's going to come up the other side. We might have our new leader here at the line as Barnett uses that bottom side to lead lap number 3 here from Las Vegas. Sneak up in front of the Rodriguez 7 here, as now Sobran will go to work on this inside of the number. Sobran in the 1 will go to work on the inside of the 3, makes that pass look easy on the exit of turn 2 as they filter down into turn number 3. Rodriguez still in trouble there, caught on the outside, not the place to be here early in this one, as we saw both the 75 and Nelson go the wrong way, and now we're watching the 7 go backwards on that outside group. So as they work their way down into turn number 1 and 2, move Horlander now up into 4th. Rodriguez will drop back to 5th and get back down on that white line as they work their way off of turn number 2. Gaggle of cars still sorting things out behind them. The battle is on for 6th. Ken Peck looks to the inside of the 4 Essery machine down into turn 3. Then you've got, I believe that is the Hara 15 in that position right behind him there. And then Greg Robinson encouraged that currently battling side by side. They're about 9th and 10th on the track, but here comes the 51 of Jim Hubble. The 51 machine there, that Ford Mustang away from the blue car with the red writing and the yellow tail. Look to make a move here, but still 2 cars side by side in front of them, not giving really much room to work here. As now both those cars look under the 41 of Kurdzlak through 3 and 4. Getting right close on the back bumper of the Hillbilly number 15. That's the police car on the left. The police car on the right now is doing battle with Jim Hubble. That is Dave Rofano in that 8 machine. And then right behind him is Chad Snyder in that blue race design with Bunny's graphics Assault Motorsports Camry as they work down the back straightaway, still sorting things out. And up here in the middle now as Hera and Robinson still going at it with Courage left. Fano, Snyder, and Hubble all involved in this battle still. 7 laps complete quickly here from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Greg Barnett continues to lead, but he has company. As I say that, they work out of turn number 2 and down the back straightaway. BMoose.org, number 1 Camaro jumps up into that top spot that time as they head towards 3 and 4. Looking to make a move also is the Nelson 75s. He's got around the Horlander number 9. Looked like Sean was getting a little loose there through the corner, able to hold it onto it and keep it pointed in the right direction. Back down across the line, 8 laps complete here early in this one. Anderson can make a second groove work up top, see if he can get around a few of these cars. Obviously have to go somewhere they're not, but right now they're all happy settled in line here as they work down through 3 and 4 still. Sovereign, Barnett, Nelson, Orlando, Rodriguez are the top 5 early in this one. A little further back, Ken Peck has cleared the Essery machine, who has actually now gotten passed by Dave Hera as Essery back into the 8th spot. Hera up to 7th. And here comes Greg Robinson in that gold number 3 Goodwrench Plus Bass Pro Shops entry, looking to make himself position better as he is looking to go to battle with the S3 number 4. The number 3 car as we work through turns 1 and 2 this time. Got a run here to the inside. Does Robinson down the back straightaway into turn 3. He's going to drive it in a little deep, sneak in front of that number 4 car. Able to hold him off. Now he gets loose on the bottom, able to grab it. What a great save by the 3 car. It's going to cost him a bunch of positions, but he didn't hit anything and kept it out of the wall. So not the end of the world for that number 3 car. He should be able to bounce back from that slide. Have to let those tires cool down a little, but that's going to move obviously Essery back into the 8th position. Chad Snyder all the way up into 9th after starting shotgun on the field here this afternoon. He's got Lefano and Kurdzlek right behind him. With Hubble right behind them. Ooh, Kurdzlek might have got into the wall there a little bit off of turn number 4, just waiting before they got to the start finish line, but able to keep it going and doesn't cause him too much grief and aggravation in that Red Bull 41. Still some great battling here, developing here in the middle of this one, while up front a little bit of a gap. As I say that, both the leader and second place go slip sliding through the infield. This could end drastically bad, but no, both the 1 and the 38, sorry, keep it together. Oh, as I say that, Sovereign up into the wall. Not sure if we're going to see a yellow here for that. Caution is out. Caution on the track here on lap number 13 in the book. So caution on lap number 4 after the 1 and the 38 go slip sliding through the infield. Unfortunately, Sovereign gets a piece of the wall. We'll take a look here so you can see coming off turn 4. Both of them get loose right in. It's almost like they were copying each other, and then Sovereign goes bouncing through the infield. At this point, I thought he had regained it before. Loses it. He gets up into the wall and then drops back down across in front of the 9, which is probably what drew the caution. So early caution for an incident involving the number 1 machine. Also, as I mentioned, Greg Barnett involved. Here, so you can see the same thing happen to Greg there. Gets down and sideways off of it. And he is able to get that car back under control without slipping back up into the wall. Grass going everywhere. So big moment there for the for the 9 of Horlander. He's able to avoid just absolutely clobbering the Sovereign number 1 car. Let's see if we can get a view from the Horlander machine. No, it doesn't look like we're going to be able to do it. So let's try one more time here. So you can see Sovereign has trouble of his own, and then watch this view of the replay. You're going to see the one car come back up, across, get into the wall, and then shoot right back down. Ooh! That's pretty sure that's as close as you're going to get without getting together. So obviously, we saw Sean get into the wall there off of turn number 4, so he is going to have some repairs done to the front of his car. Hopefully nothing too terminal. Doesn't look like anyone has any mechanical flags forcing them to spend an extended amount of time on pit road, but a few cars elected not to come down. Looks like a couple. That's the Rodriguez 7 and the Hubble 51. Both those cars stay out and will be the front row for this restart. Looks like then it's going to be Ken Peck and James Nelson. So good jump in position for Ken Peck, although 2 of the cars in front of him did have some off-track excursions, so that would help him gain a few spots. Obviously, one thing to keep in mind here in both Stage 1 and Stage 2 from what I've been told and seen from a couple of these drivers, about 48, 49, 50-ish laps on fuel if you really want to push it. So everyone will have to make at least one stop in both the first and second stage, as both stages are roughly around the same distance, 64 laps. Sorry, second stage is a little longer. I apologize. The math ain't mathin' on that one. But the lights are out on the pace truck. That's the most important part. Means we're going to see the green flag next time out of turn number 4. As Rodriguez and Hubble make up row number 1. Ken Peck and James Nelson in row 2. That looks like the Barnett 38 on the inside there in row 3. I believe that is the Hera 15 on the outside of row 3. Then you have Kurzelek and I believe Chad Snyder in row number 4. So field under the control of the 7 machine. First car to fire once they get to the Geico restart zone. Can't go before. If he waits too long, the starter will start the race for him. So as they work their way out of turn number 4 back into the Geico restart zone, we get set to go back racing here on lap number 18. 197 to go. Green is back out, and a great jump for the inside line. Really caught the outside row sleeping there as Hubble already lost almost 3 spots since we went back green here on this one. Rodriguez gets the jump. He's going to lead the way. Ken Peck right on his back bumper. Then it's a bit of a jumble of cars as they work their way off of turn 2. Things are getting a little dicey. Everyone able to avoid any kind of contact and scramble their way down to turn 3 and 4. Esser, the big winner on that one. He's going to move up into the 3rd spot. Kurzelek now in 4th. Is up front now. Ken Peck looks to make a move. Looks like he led that last one, so Ken Peck will hold the lead at the line and go to work on the top side here around number 7, Americana Motorsports. Machine of Juggles Rodriguez, as he is now clear of him. Move Travis back to 2nd. Ken Peck will be the 4th leader on the afternoon in that number 16 car here early as we come back around to complete lap number 19. And Esri now put the moves on the number 7 machine down into turn 1 and 2. Esri on the bottom. That's going to leave Rodriguez in the unpreferred groove on the top as they work down the back straightaway. Field rip roars down into back to 3rd. Kurzelek and Nelson there, 4th and 5th, and Chad Snyder and Greg Barnett though going at it here through the trial down across the line. There's the 26 of Snyder right behind him. 38 still there on the outside as they work their way through turns 3 and 4. Looks like Barnett's going to lose a couple positions to both Snyder and Lerfano this time down the back straightaway. Right they go. '21 in the books here, and we continue to see some great side-by-side racing here early in this one. Always a great event here from the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. 2 visits a year for the All-American Racing League Cup Series, kind of bookend this season. Here, and one comes at the tail end of the year in the playoffs. Last year's winner of the spring race, Brendan Mathia, obviously not in the field tonight, not joining us here for the 2025 season, so we will have a new Las Vegas winner on our hands. And we also look for a new winner in the season, on the season, as looks like Chris Essery has powered his way around the 16 of Ken Peck as they come down the back straightaway. We have a new leader here, and this one on lap 22, Essery will run the bottom. Ken Peck there in that second groove. He is holding strong there off the back bumper of the 4 machine. Turn number 1 and 2, the field really tight and racy here through the early parts of this one. You can see Schneider now up in the 3rd. Fano now goes underneath Rodriguez number 7 for 4th, potentially down as they go into turn number 3 and 4. And still riding on board the Essery 4 out of Bakersfield, California in that number 4 Ford Mustang. They come back down to the stripe. Looks like Ken Peck and the Snyder 26 going at it for second here in this one, right as they hit down to turns 1 and 2. Now Ken Peck will fall into the grass of the number 8 as he also looks to sit on the inside by the number 16 machine. Rodriguez still battling hard. One of the only two cars not to come down pit road under that opening caution of this one. So he will look to make a pit stop at some point before the end of stage number 1. As I mentioned, about 48 to 51 laps of fuel if you really want to push the issue. Snyder has a big run going on Essery down the back straightaway. Snyder gets the nose to the inside of Essery going into turn 3 and 4. He's going to make that pass all clear as Essery will almost get back by side the Snyder 26, but he will clear the 4 and he will lead at the line. 5th leader of the afternoon is the 26 for 9 graphics. New race design of Sun Motorsports, Toyota, Mineral, Virginia, Chad Snyder, and looks like Essery is going to lose another one as now the 8 of Lurfano, the LSPD number 8 will get by, and he will now go to attacking inside the Snyder 26 down into 3 and 4. Great battle developing up front here on the exit of turn number 4 as these guys side to side, side by side across the line. Looks like Snyder's going to hold on to his second lap of the afternoon, but Lafano's got the preferred bottom groove through the corners. Able to clear the 26. Will he slip up in front of him on corner X? It sure does. Shuts the door on the Snyder comeback. And now Lafano will go to the top of the pylon here as they work their way through 3 and 4. So number 4 back across the line. Lafano will lead his first lap of the afternoon. Now Essery will go back to work on the inside of the Snyder 26. Off turn 3 and 4. Lafano leads it, Snyder second, Essery in third, Ken Peck and Travis Rodriguez will go side by side across the line. Here comes the 1 of Curtis Sauber right back into the thick of things after his off-track adventure, we'll call it, early in this one. He is right back on the back bumper of the number 7. You can definitely see some damage on the front nose of that number 1 machine as they work their way down through 3 and 4. But I don't know, might seem to be helping, and this easily gets past the Rodriguez machine for fourth, as Lafano continues to lead this one up front, pulling away. Already about a half a second over the Essery number 4, who's made it by Snyder as they work through 1 and 2. A little bit of a cushion though for the first 3 as the 3rd place car has a gap back to the 1 of Sauber in there in that loose What is the sponsor on this one again? I forget. Quickly gets going here. Let's go to this one. The beamoose.org #1. I love the chrome number. Sharp looking race car for Sovereign out there tonight. He has got that position, number 4, back in his control. Then Vorlander back in 5th and 6th right now. Then Dave Harris sits back in 7th. He's got company though as Nelson, Pack, and Kurdzlek are all looking to make a move. And there is Greg Barnett. Can't count him out yet. Early racing. He looks now on the inside of Ken Peck off of turn number 4, back down through the 12 across the line. Side by side they go. It's a great race for turn number 1. Barnett is back. Will drop back in line behind that 38 as they head down the back straightaway as Dave Lafano continues to lead this one up to 1.2 seconds here. As they come down across the line to complete lap number 33, so just past the halfway point of stage 1 is Lafano's 8 machine. Right on the board, we'll take a ride on the auto serve. Booth Cam looking back from the number 8 machine at the 2nd and 3rd place cars. As that battle still trying to shape up here, the Snyder looks to regain that 2nd position over the S3 number 4. Again, Sovereign sitting in that 4th spot right in front of Rodriguez is number 7 and Sean Vorlander's number 9. 5th and 6th still here as we work through this one. Hubble's making a pit stop here in stage number 1, and it is to just get that fuel tank topped up so he can make it to the end of the stage, or if he has having some other issues, we'll keep an eye on seeing how long he's on pit road if he joins this race. You can see the 7 there might have caught a piece of the wall that time off of turn number 4, not able to capitalize was the 9 car as Rodriguez didn't use too much steam that lap after that contact, and they continue to battle on 5th and 6th there on the track. Looks like Hubble's pit stop has been completed. He's headed back down pit road to join this one. Going to be 2 laps off the pace here early in this one. Should be in a good position to potentially get a lucky dog around at the end of stage 1. There's no one else who has any laps down at this point. As I say that, Horlander gets by the number 7, but the 7 pulls the crisscross applesauce. He'll go back to the inside, down the back straightaway, looking into turn 3 and 4. Rodriguez drives it in deep on the bottom, able to hold that car almost right down on that white line. They'll both drift up on the corner exit, both keep it off the wall just barely though. That's Rodriguez 7. He will move it back to 5th. Horlander holds on to 6th. Further back behind them, Dave Hare looking to track both of those cars down here in the middle part of stage number 1. That 15 car sitting in 7th, right where he started. And there you see the 51. That is the car that is at this point 2 laps down. Jim Hubble after making a pit stop, so obviously a fresh set of good years on that machine. He makes a little contact with the wall on the corner exit. At that time, he take a step a little further back. You can see that Formula 16 machine. That's Ken Peck out of South Carolina. Fit RX, real fitness, real results, only at Walmart. So pick up your Fit RX at Walmart. Help a brother out as Ken Peck will motor down the back straightaway in his Camaro. Right behind him is a sharp-looking number 38, the Night Owl So's number 38. That is Greg Barnett. Led some laps early in this one, and then had a bit of an off-track excursion at the same time Curtis did. Hasn't regrouped as well as Curtis has in this one, but he still continues to work his way back through the field. Up front, it looks like Chris Essery has dropped a few positions. Not sure exactly what happened, but Essery is now back running in the 4th position, and Dave Lafano has got his lead whittled down to just about 4/10 of a second here in this one as they work down into turn number 1, as both Snyder and Sovereign are coming. Looks like Dave might have got a piece of the wall. He did get a 1X, so we'll see a replay of what happened here. Oh, so Dave gets squirrely, gets tires down on the infield, comes back up on the racetrack. Able to keep going, but lost a ton of ground. And the gap that he had opened up over the cars behind him here in this one. Down across the line, 41 laps complete here as we get closer and closer to the end of stage number 1. Looking for lap 64. You're watching the SimWorld Racing Network's presentation of the High Limit 325, race number 5 of the All-American Racing League Cup Series from Las Vegas, Nevada. My name is Nathan Christensen, voice of the All-American Racing League Cup Series here on the SimWorld Racing Network. And we have some great news for you if you're a fan of tuning in to the SimWorld Racing Network and watching some hard stock car Cup Series racing. We are going to start bringing you the Friday night main event is going to be the Quick Finishers Racing League. The QFRL will go back on the air live on Friday nights here on the SimWorld Racing Network. Yours truly will be on the broadcast. It will start tomorrow night from right here in Las Vegas as those guys will to start their race number 5. Following the same schedule as the All-American Racing League Series, just one night different as they race on Fridays, obviously, and the AARL boys race on Thursday. But we'll bring you tonight's race, and then we'll be back on the air tomorrow, about 7:40 Eastern time, with an 8 o'clock green qualifying and about an 8:05, 8:07 green flag tomorrow from Las Vegas for the Quick Finishers Racing League as they return to the airwaves of the SimWorld Racing Network for the next few weeks at least. Then we'll take a few weeks off as I'm unable to make the events, and then we'll see how it plays out. But we could see a lot more racing on Friday nights here on the SimWorld Racing Network. And again, happy if you could join us here on Thursdays and Fridays moving forward. We'd love to have you join us for the broadcast. So look forward to that, getting on the air tomorrow night. But right now, it's all about the All-American Racing League, and Dave Lerfano, owner of the All-American Racing League, leading this one here on lap number 46. They worked their way again back through turns 1 and 2. As you can see, well, I was blabbling on about the Quick Finishers Racing League. You saw Jim Hubble make his way back around the leader, so now only 1 lap down, I believe, is Hubble at this point. So in a great position to get back on the lead lap as long as no one else loses any laps here at the end of stage number 1. We continue to watch the 8 car of Lerfano work his way down the back straightaway. As now the number 1, the Sovereign, is trying to reel him in. No, they're gapping about a quarter of a second here in this one so far, as the beamoose.org 1 car looks to close that gap down here. As we are almost 50 laps into this one already from Las Vegas. Chad Snyder unfortunately going the wrong way. All the way back now in 5th spot is the Snyder 26. So he will complete his 48th lap there in 6th spot. He's lost a couple spots to both Esser and Rodriguez here in the dying laps of stage number 1. You see Rodriguez just in front of the Snyder machine. Looking at Americana Automotive number 7 Ford Mustang of Rodriguez out of San Antonio, Texas, works his way back down the start-finish line. Chris Esser now back into 3rd spot, up 3 spots from his 6th place starting position in this one is the Essery number 4, the True Timber Camo number 4. Sovereign still trying to make some ground up on that number 8 car, still holding strong there, about 0.3 of a second off the back here. You can see the damage on the right front, so Obviously, some damage to that thing from his earlier contact with the wall. As I take a look here, it looks like Travis Rodriguez headed down pit road for his pit stop, so he got the full fuel run in. As I mentioned, it's anywhere between 48 to 50-ish laps on fuel. Obviously, those caution laps help Travis extend it right to the end of the fuel window. So, no second caution yet. That's going to put Travis on pit road, and he will come out here probably similar to Hubble, potentially 2 laps down. He'll have his work cut out for him here if he wants to get back on the lead lap, as he will potentially only lose 1 lap as he is headed back down onto the racetrack. Should cycle out here in front of a few cars still, but as they work their way through 3 and 4 video lead duo, they've separated themselves. Oh, Curtis loses it off of 4 again. He's going to go through the infield one more time. Able to keep it pointing in the right direction. As long as he can get it back on track without hitting that wall, he'll be in great shape. But Esri is going to get by him there on the entrance of turn 1. Sovereign having a bit of trouble there with turn number 4. That's the second time this afternoon he has mowed the lawn through the infield here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, but this time able to keep it off the fence and only lose 1 position now as he sits back in the 3rd spot here late in the run of stage 1. You know, one thing we talked about here with some of these guys is the fact that these cars, you push those tires so hard, cars get very, very loose towards the end of the tire run. And making it to the end of a fuel run is more so about battling the tires at the end of the run and keeping them underneath you. And we can see that some guys are doing a better job of that than others. I think it's starting to pay off. Dave Hara cycling his way up into the top 5 now, currently sitting in 5th. As this one runs down the laps here as we complete 54 of 214 this afternoon. Hara in 5th, Snyder right there in front of him, sitting in that 4th position. You can take a look from the QFRL roof cam on board the LSPD number 15 as they work his way out of turn number 2 and will ride on board for a couple laps here around the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. A lot of throttle control going on that 15 car as he works his way here. Lap number 56 that time at the line. He'll continue to chase Snyder, who's been able to drive away a little bit from the 15 cars. They work their way through turns 1 and 2 down the back straightaway. Quick look here at the current weather conditions. So 24-mile-an-hour winds. A pretty windy afternoon here. 67 degrees Fahrenheit. A track temperature of 91 degrees. 91 Fahrenheit is the track temperature. Not a cloud in the sky to be had. So beautiful afternoon for racing here in Las Vegas. Look at that weather. As you can see, the car still continues to cycle around here. David Fong in command of this one. 1.5 second lead over the Essery. Number 4, 2 in it. Almost 3 seconds back to Sauber number 1. And Snyder and Hara, as I mentioned, rounding out the top 5 here in this one as we get close to completing lap number 59. It'll be this time at the line for these drivers. So Greg Robinson on pit road here in this one. Take a look and see if Greg had any issues or just a pit stop required. So let's take a look here. Robinson losing it and having to get down on pit road. So that was the reason for Robinson being down there. Looks like he has dropped out of this one here early in this event, so Robinson will finish in the 15th position this afternoon. But Lafano, the car on the front of this one, still continues to lead here in that number 8 after starting in the 11th position. So already a 10-place improvement here, getting himself up into the first position here as we work on lap number 62. As Esri closing that gap a little, the gap down to just over a second for that number 8 car. But closed that time by for them when 8 took the start of lap number 63, so a couple laps to go here in the stage before we see the caution be displayed, and the end of stage number 1, and Lafano continues to lead the way. Esri in second. Sobran a great bounce back after his issues on lap 14, currently sits in the 3rd position. Chad Snyder right behind him and Dave Carroll, and he's got company in the form of the Kurgelek number 41. Positions on the line here on the last lap of the stage as Kurgelek looks to get into that top 5 at the end of stage number 1, but he's got to get around the 15 to get there. Down the back straightaway into turn 3. Kurgelek go to the outside, pushing it hard through the middle of the corner, trying to keep it off the wall. He does. Looks like the 15 will beat him back to the line to pick up the stage. 5th in the stage will be Hera, so it looks like it's going to be Lafano, Esri, Sobran, Snyder, Hera, Kurgelek, Kempek, the 38 of Barnett, James Nelson, and Sean Horland with the 10 cars picking up stage points here this afternoon in the end of stage number 1. And it looks like the 7 car of Travis Rodriguez who had to come down and pit on lap number 13 laps ago. So that is lap 50. Travis came down pit road to get his fuel and tires, I believe, based on the length of time on pit road, might only been fuel only to get him back out there without losing too much ground. So he is in a position to get the lucky dog, so we'll keep an eye on him being waved around the field. Up front, though, the leader at the caution, number 8 car, Dave Lafano, picks up 1 bonus point and then 10 regular season points to add to his total as he heads down pit road, I'm assuming, once they get there. And we're going to step away for a quick second. We'll be right back to bring you the restart right after this. Welcome back to the Sim World Racing Network's presentation of the All-American Racing League Cup Series here on Thursday, March the 13th. So glad you could be here with us tonight. Completion of Stage 1 in the books. The winner of Stage 1 is Dave Lorfano, Chris Essery in second. As that has how they came off of pit road. That's the same way they finish in the stage. So let's go look at the stage rundown again. So it was Lorfano, Essery, Sovereign, Snyder, and Hera, your top 5. 6th was the 41 of Kurdzlek. Then the pack 16, 38 of Barnett, 75 of Nelson, and the 9 of Horlander were your top 10. Lights are out on top of the iRacing pace truck. The field is doubled up behind it. Front row is going to be Lorfano and Essery. Second row will be Hera and Kurdzlek. Snyder and Ken Peck will make up row number 3. Row number 4 is the Nelson 75, the Barnett 38. Row number 5, the 9 of Hortlander, and the 20 of Larry Garns. The 2 is Tyrone Yo. The 51 there on the outside is Jim Hubble. And then the 7, the wave around car, is Travis Rodriguez. And then coming into the picture just momentarily should be the number 1 machine of Curtis Sovereign. Obviously spending a little bit extra time on pit road, letting that pit crew go to work and get that right front fender all straightened up. It didn't seem like it mattered too much there at the end of stage number 1 as he made his way back up to 3rd spot. But right now he's going to drop in line behind the 7th car for the 3-star. The control car is the number 8 machine. He will be the first car to fire once they reach the Geico restart zone. The pace truck heads to the left and onto pit road, down to the Geico restart zone. Green flag is back in the air. Lorfano gets a good jump on the Essery number 4. Gets dumped in the run, goes down to number 1. Lorfano able to easily clear the Essery 4. He's going to drop down to the bottom and cut the run of the Kurdzlek number 41 and the 15 of Hera off, as Hera is going the wrong way here. He's got a bad run through turns 1 and 2. He's going to cost him a few spots. Up front though, teammate Dave Lorfano continues to lead the way. Essery on the bottom. Kurdzlek still working that outside. See if you can get that worked in and get some speed developing up there. And then Ken Peck there in 4th. 5th is now Dave Hera as he settles in there behind the 16. Side by side for 6th is the Nelson 75, the Snyder 26, and right there in that fray is the 38 of Barnett. Off of turn number 2, they come down the back straightaway. File for most of the way through the field now as the 9 of Horlander gets around. Looks like 7 gets around the 9 of Horlander. He's trying to bring the 1 of that is Sovereign number 1 now. They both look to clear the Horlander number 9, but Sovereign also looking to clear the number 7 at the same time. We got some great side-by-side racing down the back straightaway here as they get it sorted out before they get down to turn 3. Sovereign able to drive it in really deep down into turn 3. Now going to have a run on the Barnett 38 off the corner. Barnett catches a piece of the 1, almost catches a piece of the 7 car there. Rodriguez able to avoid that with some quick driving as Hera looks now to the inside of Ken Peck from 1 and 2. They draw even off the exit of turn 2 and drag race down the back straightaway. Super Trooper Hale Bailey down the inside, Ken Peck on the outside as they hit turn 3. Still continues to lead the way. Still battling out here for 5th on the screen now. Nelson tries to get in the middle of them to disrupt that battle. He's got Chad Snyder right on his back bumper though as they head out of the 2 down the back straightaway. It's so tight together here still early in stage number 2. Again, looking for the end of lap 134, and that'll be the end of end of lap 133. Will be the end of stage number 2. Continues to lead at a race high 46 laps up until this point as they are battling hard behind him, trying to gain as many spots here early in the run as possible. Great view of the cars working down the back straight, and now the outside gets a bit of a push. You can see as those 3 cars move a little bit ahead of the inside row, but now the inside row on the bottom has the advantage. Kurdzlek Might have got a piece of the wall there. That's going to have him crack the throttle. He's going to lose at least a couple spots as both Peck and the 15 O'Hare get back by him. Going to try to drop down in front of the 1, but that's going to slow Sovereign up now as Nelson in the 75 will clear the Kurzlek 41. Snyder's looking to do the same. Has to drop in line. Door to door actually with the Sovereign 1 down into turn 3. 2 rows, too deep. Too wide, too deep there as they work their way through 3 and 4, continuing here in the mid-pack area as now Sovereign able to clear Schneider. He's going to go to the bottom, right down on the flats of the racetrack on the inside of Kurzlek down into turn number 1. Kurzlek again hanging it out there on the top side though as the 1 car gets a great run again through the bottom of 1 and 2, but can't get a good run on exit as the momentum of the top side is going to pull Kurzlek back even into turn 3 and 4. Now you can see Sovereign drives it in very deep on corner entry. That's where he builds up most of his momentum. Able to sneak it up in front of the Kurzlek 41. Now the 75 and Nelson drops right down onto the apron. As now it looks like Sovereign's going to have to use that middle top move through 1 and 2. Kurzlek now right back down to the bottom line as they all 3 of these cars approach the back of the Hillbilly 15. Now Strava still has room on the outside. He's going to use all that top side momentum to get another run on the 15 cars. They work down into turn 3 and 4. Lafano continues to lead over Esri, Pack, and now Sovereign cracking that top 4 as he gets his nose out in front of the 15 this time at the line. Battle for 4th and 5th on your screen, as well as the 6th place car in there is Nelson in the 75 auto serve car. Sovereign very good on the top side that time through 1 and 2, gets a great run on exit, just has nowhere to go as the Ken Peck machine there blocking the road, draws right up to his back bumper. You're going to have to get out of it a little bit on corner entry. That's going to let Hera move to the inside of both the Sovereign 1 and the 16 of Ken Peck, that time on the exit of turn number 3 and 4. Hera looks to crack the top 3 here on lap number 78. Does just that with a power move down into turn 1 and 2. He's trying to pull the 75 through with him, not able to clear. Ken Peck was Nelson 75 as Nelson will hold on the bottom though, this time through 3 and 4. Obviously still the bottom, a great place to be here as the track develops through the middle part of this one. We should see the lanes in the groove widen out, and hopefully we can get some great 2-wide racing for the good majority of this one. Not that we aren't seeing it already though, as Sovereign still battling on that top side. Look at the side drafting between him and the 75 this time through 1 and 2. They come off a lip down the back straightaway. There's Barnett looking to get around Kurzlek here in the middle of the pack. Horlander says, hey, I saw you do that, let me try too. Not able to get door to door with the Kurzlek 41. He'll drop in line behind him. Sovereign still battling to the outside of Nelson. Right there in his tire tracks directly in front of him though is the 16 of Peck, and we got a pass for the lead. S3 looks to the inside of Lafano down into turns 1 and 2. The 4 car looking to take a lead away from Lafano on the exit of turn number 2. They're 2x2, 4 rows deep. Are we super speedway racing or are we at the desert in Las Vegas? As not sure, because the racing has been pretty good so far here this afternoon. 81 laps complete this time at the line. Esri will take the lead here for the 2nd time this afternoon over the 8 of Lafano. That'll put the 2 officers back to back there in the middle, 2nd and 3rd place. Now Nelson drives it in deep. He's got to try to hold that on the bottom. Almost doors the 16 that time through the middle of 1 and 2. Able to regroup and hold that line though as they work down the back straightaway here down into 3 and 4. Sovereign's run back to the front's kind of stalled out a bit here since he got behind the pack 16, just nowhere to go as he's been stuck on the outside there, as the bottom line again seems to be making the momentum work around here, even though the top side can carry a little bit more speed. Shorter way around seems to be the fastest here so far this afternoon. Nelson draws right up on the back bumper of that 15 car as they work their way off of 2. He's probably got to get out of it a little, not to run over Hillbilly, so that's going to let 16 get a run to the outside. Now he's going to give a little bit of an air bump to the 8 car out of turn number 4. They go. Still Lafano looking to get back around the SRE 4 for the lead here as we complete 83 laps in this 131 to go still this afternoon from Las Vegas. This is race 5 of the All-American Racing League Cup Series here on the Sim World Racing Network. Side by side, Officer Lafano and Hillbilly duke it out down the back straightaway. second advantage to the 8 car this time, and the entry of turn number 3. Harrah's got to check up a little as he gets behind the 4 cars. Want to run anyone over, even though he is the cops. Out of turn 4 they go, back down the front straightaway. Rodriguez back there in the middle of the fray, still looking to make up ground that he lost after having to come down pit road at the end of stage number 1. Put him 1 lap down, but able to hold in that position and take a wave around. So started tail end Charlie on the restart here in this one. And now back up into the, what is that, the 8th position. Oh, we got some almost contact there. The 41 and the 38 of Barnett. Great save by Barnett, able to keep it out of the wall after a little side-by-side contact with the 41. So Barnett's going to lose a handful of spots, but no damage to his car. He's able to continue here. Up front, Essery. He gets down on the line. Oh, and we got trouble in this one. Big trouble for the 8 and the 15, as Essery seemed to have touched the apron, and this came back up the track into the side of the Harrah 15, and then Lerfano had nowhere to go on that one. That's going to bring out the caution for the 3rd time this afternoon, 2nd for incident. Let's take a replay here and see what we can see. So he tried to make a move back down to the bottom under the 15, but they're not clear on that from that view, and he got into the 15, and then the 15 again, nowhere to go, got up into the 8 machine. Couple more views of this. We'll take another look here. Tries to come back down, not clear unfortunately in front of the 15, then just gets the wiggles and gets up into the side of the 15, throwing him up into the wall. Looks like the 1 and the 75 may have got together a little bit on corner exit. And the 75 was the victim there, and he spun out. So we'll take another look here from a couple more drivers' perspectives. So we'll see what happened to Sean here. Nowhere to go, and just comes down across the nose of the 2 of Tyrone and backs it hard into the inside wall. So that's not going to be good for the number 9 car. And then Rodriguez was for him here. So here down on the bottom. Oh, just gets a bumper from the 9, a couple bumpers from the 9, so nothing should be too much damage on the 7 car, but we'll see how it all shakes out here after the caution, as the pit road is open and everyone on track is headed down pit road to the attention of their pit crew. Obviously, some crews have a little bit more work to do than other, and not a good night for the 15 of Dave Harrah, as he is got the mechanical black flag after some hard contact with the outside wall. We'll take one more look at that. So you can see the 4 just come down the track a little, unfortunately nowhere to go. And then the 15 up into the 8, and then hard contact with the wall pretty much destroys the front end of that 15 car. You can see the right front tire pointed everywhere but straight, and obviously needed a tow to get back to the pits. So I don't want to say he's done for the night, but not the results that the 15 wanted, unfortunately, after an incident with the 4 car. Couple other cars involved, but none took the significant damage like the number 15 did. Still on pit road, already 3 laps down, this time out of turn number 4. So still some crews getting some work on pit road done. They should be leaving here shortly and joining the tail end of the field as we're going to reset this. I think they should be getting the 1 to go. At the line there, the lights are out on the caution truck, so it looks like 1 to go will be given. So it's going to be Essery, and that is the Rodriguez 7. You're going to have the 75 on the inside of row 2. Outside him will be the Ken Peck 16. And you're going to have Kurdzlek and Snyder. Tyrone Yo on the inside of Larry Garns there in the next row. And then looks like it's going to be Barnett coming off of pit road, followed by Lerfano as these guys... Oh, Lerfano gets up into the wall maybe a little bit there. The guy's got some catching up to do. He's coming out of turn number 2. These guys just headed into turn number 1. So Forlander, Lerfano, and the Sovereign number 1 all got some ground to make up here as the field rolls down the back straightaway as we get set to go back racing after our 3rd caution of the afternoon here. On lap number 86, we'll get the on lap 89 with 125 to go. So clicking them off in quick fashion this afternoon here. Looking for the completion of stage number 2 again at the end of lap 132. We will see the caution displayed for that. Field in the control, under the control of the 4 car, who hits the loud pedal as they hit the green flag at the line, and big jump from yes 4 is downhill, get around the 7, jump up to the top side as they work down into turn 1 and 2. Rodriguez back into second position. The battle is on for third and fourth between Nelson and Pack there on the exit of turn number 2. Snyder and Kurzak side by side for fourth and fifth as they are too wide. 3 rows deep here on your screen. Rodriguez gets a good run off of 2, but the bottom's going to prevail as Esri will lead that one at the line for his 15th lap lead of the afternoon as they work down through turns 1 and 2. 6 cars here, all under a blanket, as they would say, as they work down the back straightaway. The True Timber Camo number 4 continues to lead the way as the 7 looks to his outside, but now the 75 of Nelson. Fast car this afternoon in practice and currently holding the fastest lap of the race so far. In the position to get that 1 bonus point for fastest lap led is the 75. Now he will drive in deep and hard on the outside around the 4 machine. See if he can make that stick on the exit of turn number 2. Sure does. New race leader, the Nelson 75, works his way down the back straightaway. He's going to bring Chad Snyder through with him in the 26th machine, as it looks like he might be able to clear the S34 this time off of turn 4. Sure does, as the Nelson 75 will lead the lap. So that's another grab is the 8th different leader this afternoon. Sorry, it took me some time to do some math there. As S3 now drops back to the 4th position, as Pack able to clear him. Snyder and Nelson also all in front of him. Nelson got into the wall that time off of turn number 4. See if that causes him any issues as they head down to turn number 1 and 2. Back down to the start-finish line. Looks like number Fawn on number 8 is definitely struggling here after his issues with the 15 car getting involved in an accident to bring out the last caution. A little bit off the pace here in this one. So we'll see how long the 8 car can stay out here and hang on to it, but not looking good right now for Fano. It's about already 8 seconds off the lead of this one. 3.5, 4 seconds back from the closest car in front of him at this point. So keep an eye on that as this stage number 2 develops as we get close to the lap 100 mark. Up front though, Ken Pack putting the pressure on the number 75 this time out of turn number 2 and down the back straightaway. Still nose to tail the top 4. Stretching away from the bridge that 41. But here comes that 1 car, Sovereign, determined to get back up into this one. He's gone from back to the front, to the back, to the front, to the back, to the front a handful of times here as he gets all that damage repaired under caution as best as he could. And Peck puts the power move on the 75, that time out of 2 and down the back straight. To the top of the scoring pylon. He will take back control of this race out of the hands of the 75 as they look down across the line. The Sovereign right there also looking to make that move past Nelson, but the group is full with Nelson right in front of the 75. Sauber number 1 machine down into turn 3 and 4 they go. And Nelson for the bottom as Kenpack kind of hangs it out in the middle there as he will hold on to the lead after the line as we move closer and closer to the halfway point. This one just about 9 laps away from getting the halfway sign. From the back of the 75, only one car further up there, and we'll see right into the living room of the Nelson 75. We'll stare right into his soul there as he works his way down off of turn number 4. What a great looking number 75 that time on turn 4. They're coming now, this time into turn 1. And holding on the 4th, Greg Barnett in 5th as Esther has slid backwards on this one. He's back all the way to 8th position here. Early in the middle part of stage number 2 as Peck goes a little high that time. That was going to open the door for the 75. Not able to get it done that time. 3 and 4 goes right there. Battling hard on the back bump of the 16. Now we'll dive it back down to the bottom this time. Through 1 and 2. The 75 will nose himself out in front on the exit of the corner, but the drag race is on as the 16 of Peck will close that distance right back up, but now the 75 will drive it in deep that time on the bottom, able to slide up in front of Ken Peck on corner exit. Almost a little too much, might have caught a piece of the wall, but able to continue. Not too much slow up is the 75 machine. Way down to turns 1 and 2 again. The leader at this point, James Nelson, will take back over the lead here from Ken Peck on lap 101. So getting closer to the halfway point here, only about 6 laps out from hitting the halfway mark in this one. And about 32-ish laps out from the end of stage number 2. We continue to watch the battle up front. A little further back, Sovereign has company as both Snyder and 38 of Barnett have closed in on him. Take a little further back. There's the Kurdzak 41, and then he's followed by the Tyrone 2. 51, a Hubble mixed in there. Also, 1 lap down is Hubble at this point. This opens up a bit of a gap, so Hubble is right now in the lucky dog position, so keeping that car in that spot will get him back on the lead lap. We'll look a little further back to the 2 cars that were running up front earlier in the stage. The 4 Esri, the 7 Rodriguez currently sitting in 8th and 9th. Behind them is the 9 of Horlander. And Larry Garnes running in the 11th position. And we'll take a look way further back. As I mentioned, the struggling number 8 car here just doesn't have the speed after the green flag, and he was involved in that incident. So we'll see. Again, we'll keep an eye on it. Hopefully he can keep it on the lead lap here over the last 30-ish laps of the stage, but I don't know if he will be able to. And I know one guy who doesn't want to see that is the Hubble, number 51. Up front, though, Ken Pack continues to lead. Still the battle with the number 75, but we have a little bit of a 3-car battle developing as Sobran goes for a ride again through the grass. Able to keep it going out of the wall. Joins back up behind Tyrone in the 7th position. So again, not the best lap for the number 1 car, but able to keep it out of the fence for a second time. And he is able to trudge on here in this one. That's going to be Barnett and Kurdzak up into the 3rd and 4th position with Snyder right there in 5th. So again, the top 5 all together here as we work lap 107 after completion of 107. Halfway through this one, 107 down, 107 to go as Ken Pack continues to lead. He's up to 11 laps led this afternoon. Continues to lead the 75 of Nelson, Barnett, and Kurdzak, then Snyder in the top 5. Back at Tyrone running in that 6th position, and Sovereign has lost some ground to Tyrone here, but still back up to speed without any damage after his off-track adventure last time. off of turn number 4. We'll take another look here. We'll see him just get loose coming through the exit of 4 down onto the grass and just bounces his way all the way down the front straightaway. You can see him almost drift back up and lose it, but he's able to get on the binders and slow that thing right down and keep it in the right direction. So continues to hold on in 7th position. See if he can rebound here in the second half of this stage. Kurdzlek now goes to battle with Barnett 38. Ooh, Barnett gets a little bit of loose off the corner, but able to hold on as he will battle the 41 butt kicker Red Bull Moza Motorsports machine, and Mike Kurdzlek into turns 3 and 4 this time. Out of 4 they come. Nelson's lost 2 spots to them after leading early after the restart. It's back to Ken Peck in control now over Barnett and Kurdzlek. Thanks to those tuned in on Sim World Racing Network. So happy to have you along. As we mentioned earlier, look for the QFRR to go back on the air tomorrow night, 7:40 Eastern. The cars will hit. We'll be on the air for tomorrow's evening's event. Qualifying at 8. Green flag just around about 8:07-ish, 8:10-ish. Tomorrow night as we get set to go back to racing with the Quick Runners Racing League on the Sim World Racing Network here from Las Vegas. So 2 nights in a row, some great Cup Series action coming to you via the Sim World Racing League. I will be on the call, taking over for last year's broadcast team of Dave and Dave. We continue here under green. Looks like potentially fortunately we've lost a couple more cars here in this one as both Borlander and Dave Hara have retired from the event this afternoon. So still have 12 cars running in this one. And we are getting, whoa, a lot of cars getting tight off of turn number 2 there, as everyone using as much track as they can. And, that was, could have got pretty hair-raising there for a second. As the flip continues to work here. Goes back to the inside of Barnett as this is the battle on track for 2nd position here in the late stages of stage number 2. About 20 or so laps to go as the car there at the left hand side of the screen, that is number 8 of David Fawn. 1 lap down here in this one if he doesn't get a caution hit relatively soon, as Ken Peck and the boys have tracked down that number 8 car. And stay on the outside, let everyone go by on the inside. Put that Lafano machine a lap down. He'll bring Kurdzlek through with him, and Barnett now looking to make the same pass on the lapped car. Sitting in the lucky dog position, though, we'll keep an eye and see if John Hummel is able to close that gap and get around the 8 car, moving himself back into lucky dog as we have 2 cars 1 lap off the pace at this juncture of the race. And Ken Peck continues to lead the way here by about that much, 0.2 of a second under that, actually, as they work off of turn 2 down the back straightaway. For the stage win, as I mentioned, looking for the end of lap number 142.
Kurdzak will close that gap right up to the back of Peck. Now he's going to look to the inside, down into turn number 1. Looking to make that move for the top spot here on lap 118. Peck gets a little bit loose there again off of turn 2. That's going to let 41 get a good run to the inside, down into turn 3 and 4. They are still side by side. That top side though, Peck gets a great run on the outside through 3 and 4, but they're still door to door as they come back down to the line to see who leads it after the line. Looks like it's going to be Ken Peck will get the lap led, but Kurdzak says don't get too eager. I'm still on the bottom and still pushing hard here as they work back down the back straightaway again. Back into 3 and 4 again. Peck gets a good run into the corner, but that bottom shortest way around the track seems to be pretty quick as Kurdzak not able to get him quite yet, but still side by side they work down into turn 1 and 2. Guy in third, Barnett says, yeah, keep this up. I'm closing right in on you two and looking to capitalize as they work off of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. Kurdzak able to clear Peck, will drift up in front of him. Sure is. Peck's going to give him a little bit of a love tap into turn 3. That's going to get Kurdzak a little bit sideways, but he's able to grab that wheel and get that car pointed back in the right direction. He's going to lose a spot to Barnett, maybe falling into the grass with a 75 of Nelson down into turn number 1 as Nelson looks to the inside. Nelson will look to the inside of Kurdzak. He's able to clear him off of 2 up in front of him. So Kurdzak going to have to back it off for a couple laps, let those tires cool down here as we work lap 121. Still got about 10 laps to go here in stage number 2. See if he can get back up to the front and challenge Ken Peck. Out of turn 4 though, he may have made a little contact with the wall. We also saw Chad Snyder, number 26, who's now battling on the inside of Kurdzak, get a little bit loose. Now he's able to clear him down into the corner. Up front though, Ken Peck has opened up about a half-second lead now off of the front nose of the 38 of Barnett down the back straightaway. It's Peck, Barnett, Nelson, Snyder, Kurdzak, Sobran, Esri, Rodriguez, Tyrone Mill, and Larry Garnes, the last car on the lead lap. As I mentioned earlier, keeping an eye on the Hubble and the Fano situation. Hubble able to get around Fano here in this one, so that'll move Hubble back into the lucky dog position now. Still both 1 lap down to the leader, Ken Peck. Down the back straightaway, it still continues to be the 16, 38, and 75 leading this one. The battle on track is pretty close though, for 4th and 5th between Snyder and Kurdzak, this time off of turn 4. 123 complete, 91 to go at the line for these guys. Couple cars, 1 lap down, 2 cars, 1 lap down, 3 cars out of this one early in this one after being involved in a, I believe around lap 86 incident. All started when the 4 and the 15 got together, and then the 15 unfortunately shot back up into the track into his own teammate in the 8, and a couple other cars with nowhere to go took some damage, and Orlander definitely made some hard contact with the inside of the turn wall at the exit of turn 2. Now these 2 cars get a great run on the 75, and Nelson not able to capitalize is the 26. He had to get out of it as the closing rate was far too quick to make any kind of move. Now Ken Peck again way loose off of turn number 2, drives all the way down onto the apron on the inside. The battle though right now is again for 3rd and 4th as Kurdzak trying to get back around the Nelson 75 here as we complete lap 125 at the line. Pushing hard on the back bumper of the 75 is going to drift up a little bit, try to get back to the inside down the back straight, and not able to do it quite yet. Snyder sitting right there hoping for a mistake by those drivers to get 1 more spot closer to the front. 3 and 4 they go, still not able to get side by side on corner exodus. Kurdzak putting up one heck of a fight on the inside though, usually as Nelson's all the way down on the inside to the apron, and then come back up across the nose of 41 down into turns 1 and 2. As Kurzlek's going to get a big run out of turn 2 around the outside of the 75 down into turn 3 and 4. Kurzlek able to clear him, also the driver back in on the bottom this time as they will come off of turn number 3 and 4. Whoa, my goodness, Kurzlek hard contact with the outside wall right there, having to almost avoid the 75 coming up, and Kurzlek was coming down, so I don't think they actually touched, but Kurzlek makes a drastic move to the right and just lost control of it, and up into the wall he went. Able to continue here, holds on to 5th spot still, but further back than he wants to be with a wrinkle right front fender as they work the end of this stage here. 128 laps complete this time at the line for Ken Peck. 86 to go and about 6 laps left in stage number 2. Sorry, make that 5 laps left to go in stage number 2. His lead here over Barnett back in second, this time off of turn number 2. There's the gap first to second, about 1.1 seconds. The gap back to third and fourth, all on the same swing as they head to turn 3 and 4. Down across the line they come, 130 laps complete here this afternoon. Getting close to the end of stage number 2. Pack has separated itself out here over the extent of the second half of the run in stage number 2. We work our way down the back straightaway. Still leading the way is that number 16 car of Ken Peck. Right behind him is Greg Barnett, sitting about 1.7 seconds back. And then we'll take a look back at the auto serve 75. The Ford Mustang of James Nelson works his way out of turn number 4. Back across the line. In 4th place is the 26 Blues Race Design Sub Motorsports Toyota regarding the graphics number 26. And then the Red Bull butt kicker Moza Motorsports number 41 holding on to the 5th spot. And then right behind him in the True Timber Campbell number 4, that is Chris Essery. And then back there in the beamoose.org number 1 Camaro, that is Curtis Sobran at Hudson, North Carolina. Looking to get some final repairs possibly made to that car onto this next caution and see if he can have another run here to the front. Right behind him is the 7 car. That is 3-time winner on the year, Travis Rodriguez. And as we're going through this, we have come to the end of stage number 2. Ken Peck will be the winner of stage number 2. So Peck will pick up the 10 points towards the standings and the 1 bonus point that'll carry over to the playoffs. Second is Greg Barnett, James Nelson in 3rd, Snyder in 4th. 5th was the Kurzlek, number 41. As they catch up to the back of the pace car, pits should be open this time as we can see the cars filtering onto pit road there at the top of the screen. Just running through the last of the results from the stage. So 6 goes to the 4 of Essery Sobran in 7th. The 7 will be 8th of Rodriguez, 9th to Tyrone, and then 10th in the stage will go to the 20 of Larry Garnes. So as the cars, you can see them on pit road getting service here at the end of stage number 2. Ken Peck picking up that big stage win. We're going to step away for a quick second here. We'll be right back to reset the field for the run to the checker here in the third and final stage of the afternoon. As we continue here under caution, but the lights are out on the iRacing pace truck. That means we should be getting back to racing here momentarily as the field heads out of turn number 2 and back to the green flag next time. As the leader will be the 16 of Ken Peck. Outside him will be the Barnett number 38. James Nelson and Chad Snyder in row number 2. Then it looks like it's going to be Chris Essery and Travis Rodriguez in row 3. Got Curtis Sobran and Tyrone Yo in row 4. And then Larry Garns and Michael Kurgelek make up that 10th and 5th and row in 9th and 10th. I'm not exactly sure where Jim Hubble was headed, but the pace truck should be going to the infield regardless, and we should be coming back to the green flag this time out of turn number 4. Field in the under the control of the 16 of Ken Peck, who drops the hammer here as he hits the Geico restart zone. Gets a great jump on that outside row as the 3 cars on the inside are all going to clear Barnett before they even get to turn number 1. So move the 75 of Nelson up to second, Essery 4 into third, but he is going to go to the inside of the Nelson 75 down the back straightaway. Don't count out Sobran right there, still in that 1 car, and then Barnett now filters back into the 5th place position. He's got company on the inside in the form of Travis Rodriguez. Back down across the stripe here, complete lap 137. 77 laps to go this time at the line. A big move from the 1 car coming down the back straightaway as he goes by the 75 and the 4 down into turn number 3 and 4. He is going to look now to hunt down that number 16 car, Ken Peck, off of turn number 4. Might have got a piece of the wall, did the 1 car, but able to keep it going. As now the battle is on here between Barnett, Rodriguez, and maybe a bit of Nelson here once they get that car reeled in. As the 75, though, he'll get a good run on Essery out of turn number 2, and they'll go side by side down the back straightaway. Still Peck out front, but Sobran looking to the inside this time through turns 3 and 4. Great run that time. Not able to fully clear the Peck machine as they'll go side by side across the line. Can't even tell you who led that lap because it was too close to tell, that's for sure. But Sobran will drive it deep into turn number 1 and 2 and clear easily the 16. Slide up in front of him as they work down the back straightaway. Sobran back to control of this one after his lap 14 incident. Now back to the top of the scoring pylon here on lap 140. Took him a good chunk of the race, but he is now back in the lead here as he crosses to lead what would be his 8th lap of the race. He's working his way down to 1 and 2, still leading this one. battle is on, though. A little further back is Esri, Nelson, Barnett, all battle. That is for the 3rd, 4th, and 5th position, and Rodriguez right there in 6th. Don't count him out on the bottom of your screen. Down the front straightaway, side by side for 4th and 5th as Nelson makes that move to the inside of Barnett down into turn number 1 and 2. Nelson still working that bottom side. Barnett and Peck though using that middle and top group to their advantage now. Barnett back around the Nelson 75. Ooh, Rodriguez thought Rodriguez was going to jam it in there on the bottom of the Nelson machine, but Nelson closed the door at the last second. Both of those guys are going to be able to get by the Esri 4 though on that lap. That is the Barnett 38 and the Nelson 75. Not fully clear though as they go down into turn 1 and 2. A big bump from the 7 car on the back of the 75 will clear him easily. Now the 7 pulls that same move and he gets by the 4 as well. Select though had to come from the back at this restart. Not exactly sure what happened. Maybe a penalty on pit road put him at the tail end, Charlie, for the restart. But up front, Curtis Sobrin continues to lead the way. He's got about a half a second gap from between him and the 16. And on the back bumper of the 16 is the 38 and the 75. This time through 1 and 2 they go. Second now as Nelson looks to the inside off of turn number 4. They're side by side at the line. Ken Peck on the outside in the number 16, the black, red, and white machine, and then the blue 75, the white, blue, and black numbered machine gets that pass done in 1 and 2. Peck back to 3rd. Move Nelson to 2nd that lap, 145, 144 actually in the books, working 145. Down through turns 3 and 4, the field rumbles as they work their way out of 4 back down across the line. Out front, Sobrin continues to lead this one. He works his way through turns 1 and 2, and the battle's still on hard for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th as these 3 cars aren't giving up the fight, but more cars are looking to join it as Rodriguez rolls in almost to the back bumper of this 38 that time out of turn number 2. He's looking to close that gap and put himself in position to pick up his 4th win of the season. Back down the front straightaway they go. Sobrin on the loud pedal. As he works his way into turn 1 and 2. Down his back bumper and Ken Peck not far behind Nelson this time out of turn number 2. They work. Nelson will make the move to the inside out of turn number 2, side by side with Sobrin at the line. Still, Sobrin led that one, but Nelson moves out ahead on the bottom in turns 1 and 2. But again, that top side momentum is pretty good through 1 and 2, and now they are back even. And the 1 car is able to pull up right to the front bumper of the number 75, but back in through 3 and 4. Nelson drives it in pretty deep on the bottom, holds that bottom white line as they come back out of 4 side by side again. I'm not sure who led that one at the line, but it was pretty darn close. And now they work back into 1 and 2, and we got a 5-car battle brewing here for in the top 5. Nelson able to clear Sobrin that time out of turn number 2. A little bit of a bump saying, hey, that was pretty close. Wouldn't recommend doing that again in a couple laps from now as we get closer to the end. Sobrin back to the inside now of Nelson 75 out of turn number 4. They go back down to the line. So it's going to be Nelson that time at the stripe. Ken Peck says, hey, maybe I'll split the middle. Thinks better of it. Gets out of the gas a little bit as he will now roll up on the back bumper of the 1. Looks like the 75 had a bit of an issue, got a little bit tight there through the center of 1 and 2. That's going to let the Peck 16 get back by him as they both look to go inside the 1 car down into turn 3 and 4. Curtis in that 1 car trying to force them to keep right down on that white line and slow them down as another car has joined this 4 back in the middle of this one there as there's 4 cars battling for 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th almost. As we'll take a look here from the blink cameras, we'll focus on this group back here as there's two battles obviously developing on track. Battle for the lead now as Peck will go back around Curtis Sovereign down into turn 3 and 4 as Barnett up to 3rd. That's going to move Nelson to 4th in the battle for 5th right for 4th? 5th. So many cars battling I can't keep track of who's who in what position, but the battle for the lead has gone the way of Ken Peck here on lap number 152 as they work their way out of turn 4 and down the back straightaway. 7 cars all together here in the top 7. Lap, as I mentioned, 152 completed at the line, 62 to go this time by for leader Ken Peck. Sovereign will drive it in deep on the inside of Ken out of turn number 2. Can he make it stick? He does. Holds it side by side as they drag race down to turn 3 and 4. The momentum obviously on the outside with Ken Peck. He's going to may make a little bit of contact as he was trying to pinch the one down right to the bottom white line to lose his momentum. Nelson got the worst of that as he got a little bit out of shape off of 4, but back up front, Peck able to clear the Moose number 1 machine into turn 1 and 2, but back to the bottom out of turn number 2 goes Sovereign as they work down the back straightaway. Back through 3 and 4, off of turn 4 they come. Getting pretty much a dead heat at the line that time. I think it was the 1 car, not 100% sure, but he gets the run into turn 1 with some help from Travis Rodriguez and Chris Estrie there on the inside as they work their way through 1 and 2, 3 wide for 3rd now down the back straightaway as Barnett's going to go around the outside of both those cars down into turn 3 and 4. Barnett gets a little bit loose there, able to hold it. So does Sovereign. He is able to regain it. He keeps it headed in the right direction, but it's going to lose 4 spots in one foul swoop there as he goes 2nd to 6th, just like that. Move Esri now into 2nd, Rodriguez to 3rd, and Barnett will hold on to the 4th spot, with Kurgelek in 5th. Rodriguez, a little bit of a love tap to the back of the 4 car, that time entering turn 3 and 4, is going to give a run to the 4 car on the exit, and Travis is going to have to slide back a little bit, regain his car, and get another run at Esri out of turn number 4 and down the front straightaway. Now Esri, though, will look to the inside of Ken Peck through 1 and 2, looking to go back to the lead here in this one. Side by side drag race down towards turn number 3. At the line there on the entry of 3, Ken Peck had it, but Esri's going to take it as he works the bottom side through turns 3 and 4. Slide up in front of that 16 on corner exit. Esri back to the lead here, looking to lead his 17th lap of the afternoon that time at the line. 157 complete, 57 to go. Here in the high limit 325 from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. You're watching the SimWorld Racing Network's presentation of the All-American Racing League Cup Series and another barn burner of a race here this afternoon. Ken Peck fights back on the top side, but he's got company in the form of Travis Rodriguez this time out of turn 2 and down turn 4 and down the front straightaway. Rodriguez looking to make that move work on the inside of Ken Peck. Nothing happening down the front, but down into turn number 1 and 2. See if he can make it stick on the bottom as Peck drives it in deep on the outside. He's going to get a heck of a run on the exit. That's going to hurt Rodriguez and put Peck in an attack mode on the back of the 4 car. On forward, the rear spoiler cam of the number 4 cars. They work back down across the line to complete lap 159. That time at the line for the field. 55 laps to go here in this one. Peck again gets a good run off of turn number 2. Right to the back bumper and nowhere to go as he rode up on the back of the 4 car. That's going to open the door, though, for the Rodriguez machine to make the inside move on Ken Peck for 3 and 4. Not able to clear them as they go side by side across the stripe. Now Rodriguez able to slip up in front of Peck just as they hit to corner number 1. Rodriguez now looks to the inside of the 4 car. They get together. The 7 into the back of the 4. The 4 car able to bounce it right rear off the wall and keep it pointed in the right direction. But pretty close call there between the 7 and the 4. See if we can find a replay for you. So here's another look at that pass coming off of turn 2. Rodriguez just pushes up the track, gets into the back of the 4, able to bounce the right rear off the fence to get it straightened back out. Everyone's able to drive away. But one more look at that as things got a little dicey there off of turn number 2. Just pushes up and gets into the back of the 4. Again, everyone able to drive away and continue on. But we're going to have a change at the top now as Rodriguez will take over the lead. Estrie was back to 4th, but as I say that, he gets back around Kurdzak here. Obviously got some revenge in mind as he makes his charge back to the front of this one. Up front, though, Rodriguez continues to lead over Ken Peck and then Estrie 4. And the Kurdzak 41 back a little further, running in 5th, but under attack from the 28 is the Nelson machine. But Barnett, who'll go bouncing to the infield, reminiscent of his lap 14 issue with the 1 car, but able to continue here in this one. No damage to the 28, just got to regroup and see if he can go back at her. Chad Snyder, though, now will clear Barnett, move Snyder into 8th, Barnett back to 9th, unfortunately, after that off-track excursion up front. There's still 4 cars, all within an arm's length of each other as Rodriguez gets into the wall off of turn number 4. He is going to lose some ground. Have a gap to him from him back to Ken, Chris Estrie, and the 41 of Kurdzak. Shrinking ever so slightly that time out of turn number 4. They work actually down, that's turn 2, down the back straightaway they go. Estrie looking back to the inside of the 16 of Peck, not able to get there quite yet. Gets a little loose off the corner, able to regain it and go back to the bottom. Down the front straightaway, under 50 laps to go here from Las Vegas, and we are side by side for 2nd through turns 1 and 2. On board the rear spoiler cam of the Rodriguez number 79, who's got company in the form of Chris Estrie behind him. We'll see if Chris remembers what happens at the handful of laps ago, or if he will let Travis away scot-free and battling cleanly here to the end of this one. With 48 to go at the line, Estrie drives it in deep on the bottom, Ken Peck on the outside as they work their way through turns 1 and 2. Still out front, though, is the Rodriguez machine. Now Estrie will slide up the track in front of Ken Peck down into turn number 3 and 4. They go almost what looks like 3 wide, but 3 different grooves all being used that time through 3 and 4 by Estrie, Peck, and Kurdzak here as they work back down across the start-finish line. As they work under green, they're gaining again on the 8 of Lurfano, who is running in the 11th position. Last car on the track, as it looks like Jim Hubble unfortunately had to retire early from this one. So 11 cars left in this one. 11th place being held by Lurfano, currently 1 lap down, about to go 2 possibly as Estrie gets loose off of turn 4. He's going to rumble and bumble and stumble through the infield, bouncing, deep bopping, and gets it back on track. No contact with anything other than the grass, as you can see it going everywhere. He's going to lose a handful of spots. He's going to go all the way back to 6th now. Rodriguez, though, continues to lead this one up front as he looks to put another lap on the Lurfano 8, this time out of turn number 4. They come. One thing we want to take a look at here as we get close, I imagine, to what will be the final set of pit stops this afternoon. bring it up. So 35 laps so far in the stint since the drop of the green flag for the final stage. So as I mentioned earlier, they can go probably about 48 to 50 laps depending on how comfortable you are with the fuel calculations. So we're about 13 to 15 laps away from pit stops as Rodriguez makes that pass on Lafano down into turn 1. He's going to put Lafano another lap down. Looks like Larry Garnes headed to pit road for his final stop of the afternoon. Unfortunately got a black flag on pit road entry. Definitely carrying way too much speed on the pit road was the 20 of Garnes. Finally got slowed down, but not after the speeding police got him, so he will have to serve a penalty on pit road as Travis works his way through turns 1 and 2 this time. We'll continue to keep an eye on the pit strategies. How it will play out over the next handful of laps, as again we have one pit stop left for everyone here in this one. Continue under green. Looks like Ken Peck is building up some momentum for a possible pass. He looks to the outside, that time out of 4, but nothing happened, and this time down the straightaway. Travis Rodriguez continues to lead here over Ken Peck, Mike Kurds left, and Chad Steiner your top 5. Peck goes right to the top that time through 1 and 2. Trying to stretch the track as wide as he can to keep up as much momentum as he can here late in the run. So 40 laps into this final stint they go. They have 40 to go and they're 40 laps in. So again, looking for them to come down pit road in anywhere from 7 to 10 laps, depending again on how comfortable you are with your crew chief's math abilities. But right now, everyone's settling in for the final run to the finish. Obviously, the pit stops are going to be a big deciding factor on how this all plays out at the end of the evening. Looks like a couple more cars headed to pit road. Looks like James Nelson and Chris Essery bring their cars down to the attention of their pit crew. 4 tires and a full tank of fuel is probably the call for all these cars once they hit pit road. So pit window has opened. They can't all make it to the end of this one here with 39 laps to go. Last time by, it'll be 38 at the line for Rodriguez. So again, should see these cars start to filter their way onto pit road here over the next handful of laps to complete the pit stop cycle. Looks like James Nelson's service is complete. Car's back down on the wheels and headed back to the racetrack. Obviously going to lose some laps while pitting under green. And this one, Tyrone Mule also onto pit road. You can see the names on the bottom. The cars are on pit road, and their pit stop time will be in the brackets on the right hand side. Time on pit road is the number you see tracking right beside their initials. So a handful of cars on pit road here. That's the last car to make his pit stop. A couple cars have not yet come down. That is Rodriguez, Snyder, and Sobran, but looks like Rodriguez is going to bring it down to pit road this time. The Rodriguez 7 onto pit road, and that is going to turn this race over to the 26th of Chad Snyder, as he will make that pass around, hitting number 7 machine here to take the lead in this one. Only it'll be just momentarily, as so looks like Snyder will be the last car to pit road here in this one, as everyone else has come down pit road and is in the process of making their final green flag pit stop of the afternoon. we see Snyder coming down. Nope, he's going to stay out and do one more circuit of this one. It'll be 45 laps now in this on this tank of fuel for Snyder's 45 or for Snyder's 26 machine. So pit stop cycle coming to an end. Snyder has everyone at this point trapped a lap down as he works halfway down the back straightaway. Looks like Rodriguez is going to filter out in between Ken Peck and Michael Craig, but I'd say that Craig has the full speed momentum down into turn 3 and might be able to sneak by Rodriguez as they go side by side out of turn number 2. Battle here for what will be the second place once the pit stop cycle situation sorts itself out, with Snyder coming down pit road shortly. Down the back straight, I see the gap back to the one, what is the second place car, currently 1 lap down he is, but now Snyder slowing down on the left-hand side of the track, meaning he is coming in pit road, bringing that down to his pit crew as he crosses the yellow line. Make sure he's not speeding. And then we're going to keep our eye on this man out front, Ken Peck. Will continue to add laps to his lap led total. So far 49 laps led. Once he comes back around to regain the lead, he should be able to lead a few more and make a run at the 53 laps led by early race leader Dave Lafana. Out of turn 4 he comes. Chad now just finishing his pit stop, heading back out onto the racetrack is the 26. Going to lose a handful of spots here in this one, waiting it out as long as he did with these other cars on fresh tire. Definitely at a disadvantage, went 47 laps to everyone else's 43 or 44. So there's your new race leader, Ken Peck. The gap back to his second place car is 1.4 seconds. That is Travis Rodriguez. He's the third car back in the screen. Not the police car. That is Dave Lafana, who unfortunately will go back 1 lap down to the field. I believe Dave still has pitted. So Dave is the only car on track who has not pitted here in the late running of this one. So now the battle is on to see if Rodriguez can close the gap between himself and Ken Peck over the last 31 laps to go, this time at the line. But he's got pressure coming from behind in the form of Kurdzlek and Nelson as they both drop in on the back of the 7 car, across the stripe down into turn 1. Kurdzlek trying to work over the back bumper of the 7 that time. Through 1 and 2, he's going to get door to door with them on the exit. That top side momentum still able to carry Rodriguez free and clear of the 41 down into turn number 1 as Rodriguez will drive it right down to the white line, and he's going to have company, 2 cars company now as Nelson there works his way up to that bumper of the 7 car side by side with Kurdzlek's 41 as they head down to turn 1 and 2. The battle for 3rd and 4th developing as Kurdzlek might have pushed up high through 1 and 2. That opened the door big time for Nelson to make that pass clean. So now Nelson into 3rd. Rodriguez still holding on to 2nd, but a 1.5 seconds back at this point from Ken Peck. Lafana now heading on to pit road for his final stop potentially of the afternoon. Obviously Dave, not the day he wanted after missing last week. He wasn't in the race at Phoenix last week. He was on vacation down in Florida, so missed last week and then comes back out, dominates the first part of this one and then caught up in an accident with the 15 car. Involved was the 4, the 15, and the 8. Portlander also involved in kind of a second part of that accident. Ended Portlander's night, so 2 cars casualties in that wreck, both the Portlander 9 and the Hera 15. As we continue to ride on board now with the 7 of Rodriguez down the back straightaway, you can see the gap between himself and the Pack 16. See if he got anything for him. He's got it down to about 1.3 seconds, and we'll see if he can continue to close that gap here over the last 27 laps at the line. So did pit 1 lap later than Ken did, and that could be the difference here at the end of this. The undercut seems to work fairly well. singles. If it'll work, it's going to propel Ken Peck to a victory here. His first ever for AARL Cup Series win since joining the league. So we'll see how this all plays out. But right now, Ken Peck in the driver's seat late in this one here. As I mentioned, 26 laps to go for the number 16 as he works his way down the back straightaway. Again, so glad to have you watching on the SimWorld Racing Network here on Thursday, March 13th, just about 10:30 p.m. Eastern, as we are getting down to the final 25 laps of this one, and seeing if Ken Peck can pick up what I believe will be his first AARL Cup Series win. Let's take a look here. Shorted by that car. So yeah, Ken Peck has not visited Victory Lane. This is his 32nd All-American Racing League Cup Series start. So he's looking to, like I said, get that monkey off his back and pick up that victory. Obviously a good showing so far this year, sitting second in points, only trailing the man we are riding on board with, the Travis Rodriguez, number 7. Gaps closing ever so slightly down to 1.2 seconds now. We got back to Nelson also fluctuating a little bit, as it looks like Ken Peck got a little tight there off of turn number 4. That let Rodriguez close the gap even a little further here late in this one. Down the stripe. Looks like the next car in line for the 16. That is the 2 Tyrone Hill. Last car on the lead lap. Currently, another thing we're keeping our eye on, again, as always, every week, is the fastest lap of the race will receive 1 bonus point. So currently that is the number 4 place runner, number 75, James Nelson, currently sitting with a 29.885 as the fastest lap this afternoon. Next closest looks to be Curtis Sovereign with a 29.926. So pretty close battle for fastest lap of the afternoon, but so far here, and I don't foresee anyone setting any more quick laps with the used tires that they have on. 20 lap old tires at this point, all pitting with about 40 laps to go. So I don't think we're going to see that number fall. So James Nelson will potentially pick up 1 bonus point here for that fast lap this afternoon. But as I was talking about that, you can see the gap between Rodriguez and Ken Peck closing down to only 0.4 of a second here with 19 laps to go, and the caution is out. Caution flag waves here with 19 laps to go. That is a game changer here at Las Vegas. Let's take a look here and see if we can see what brought out the caution. Looks like a couple cars might have got together. Oh yeah, so it looked like some contact between the 4 and the 38 brought out the caution in this one. So we'll see if we can get a better look at that. So we'll rewind it a little bit. They come down the back straightaway. And Barnett gets loose. Esri will look to the inside and then just kind of nowhere to go once he got to the inside. So let's see if we can take another look at that. So you see Barnett bobble. Esri tries to turn it under, but then Barnett's just so loose and slowing down. Esri couldn't get on the brakes quick enough and makes contact with that number 28 car, and pit road appears to be open. So here come the troops down pit road. As I mentioned, that was their last green flag pit stop. This will be their potentially last pit stop. So as the cars head down pit road here to the attention of their crews, going to get a new set of tires here to finish this one out. Probably don't need to take on much fuel, if at any. Don't want to make that car any heavier than it needs to be. So the battle off of pit road should be pretty good here. It should be 4 tire stops for everybody. Here comes Ken Pack. There goes Rodriguez, who's going to get it at the line. Ooh, I think Rodriguez was able to sneak it out. Maybe not. We'll see how this all settles out here once they get back onto the racetrack. So let's see this battle off of pit road. Hold on. Let's rewind this a little. And we'll go to our pit road off camera. And we'll take a look here at quarter speed. Pretty close to tell who got the win off of pit road, but we'll see once they settle it here on track. It looks like it was given to Ken Pack, so looks like Ken will be the leader here on the restart. Dave Lorfano looking to take a wave around late in this one, currently 3 laps down, so that'll move him back to just 2. Should get the 1 to go signal this time at the line. Yep, lights are out on the pace truck. Front row will be the 16 of Ken Pack on the inside. Outside him will be the number 7 of Rodriguez. Inside row number 2, the 41. That is Mike Kurdzlak. Outside him is James Nelson, 75. Row 3 will be the S34, the 1 of Curtis Sobran, and then Chad Snyder and Greg Barnett inside outside of row number 4. Got Larry Garnes there. Larry 1 lap down at this point. He will go off from inside that row right there. And then Tyrone Yo, the recipient of the waiver, or the lucky dog, he will join back at the tail end of the lead lap. And then Dave Lorfano will also catch himself up again. 2 laps down, unfortunately, at this point for Lorfano. After being caught up in that accident with the Hera 15 and the 4 of Chris Esri earlier in the race. But this race has got a fresh start to it. We will be 199 laps complete, 15 to go this time at the line. Restart coming. Ken Peck, the control car, first car to fire in the Geico restart zone, must be that 16. As we get set to go 15 laps to the end of this one here at Las Vegas. Green flag is ready and back out in the air. Good jump for Peck, but doesn't get away too far from the 7 as Rodriguez will drive right in on the outside of Peck down into turn 1. Look for Kurdzlak on the inside there as they work off of turn number 2. Rodriguez will try to work that run back down the back straightaway. He's got a great run going. Now he's going to the inside of Ken Peck down into turn number 3 and 4. Peck on the outside, Rodriguez on the bottom. Got to be a little gingerly through turns 4 on the fresh tires. As you can see, Rodriguez now makes that move past Ken Peck. He's going to go to the lead with 14 laps to go, looking to pick up his 4th win of the year. But here comes the number 4. True Timber Machine. That is Chris Esri as they work their way off of the back straight, down the back straightaway. As Rodriguez out front, Peck in second. Esri, Kurdzlak, and Nelson run in 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Now Nelson able to get inside and clear of the Kurdzlak machine for 4th. That is 13 to go that time at the lap, at the line, down into turns 1 and 2. Still Peck working the outside. Esri down on the bottom. Couple cars side by side. They get that sorted out behind them. There's Snyder. He's that 6th car back, looking to the inside now of Kurdzlak. Through turns 3 and 4 they go. Still up front, Rodriguez leads this one, but he's got company in the form of Ken Peck on the inside. Rodriguez is going to squish Peck down to the inside. He's going to cross over the white line and use the apron down into turn 1 and 2. Pack now able to clear the 7. Back to the front of the field is the 16. S3 says, hey, he did it. Looked at Frank. It looked pretty easy. Let me see if I can get it done. Down into turn 3 and 4. Going to use the draft down the back straightaway and sneak that car to the inside of Rodriguez down into turn 3 and 4. See if he can pull the move off on the exit of 4 down back to the stripe. Ken Peck, though, continues to lead the way. Rodriguez hold on to second at the line. Esri right there inside of him for third. James Nelson goes to fourth. Back down through 1 and 2 again. Rodriguez on the outside, battling that true timber number 4 pretty hard off the exit of turn number 2 and down the back straightaway they go. Going to slide in line behind him. Now they'll both go to the bottom as Ken Peck tries to run the bottom to keep Rodriguez at bay. That's going to leave the top open for Nelson. See if he can get a run as the 4 just right up to the wall, cutting that run off. So Nelson now has to go back to work on the outside of the 4. Nope, he doesn't give him that spot either. But now the 4 will go to the bottom and put Nelson on the high side of 1 and 2. Esri gets a good run out of 2, looking to close that gap back down to the back of the number 7 car into turn 3 and 4. 3 cars nose to tail this time through 3 and 4. Under a quarter of a second the difference between first and third this time at the line. Peck right down to the apron. Rodriguez on the bottom. Esri looks a little higher, not able to get it done, but now Esri goes to the bottom into turn 1 underneath Rodriguez. 9 to go that time at the line. Ken Peck leads the way here as the 7 and the 4 go at it almost door to door into turn number 3. The longer they battle it out, the better it is for Ken Peck in the long run as he's able to pull a gap away a little bit. Here as they continue to run side by side. The 7 car into the wall that time out of turn number 4. That's going to hurt the run of the 75 as he had to get out of it out of the throttle down the front straightaway, or he's going to run over the back of the 7 car. Now S3 looks like he almost has Rodriguez cleared, but that topside momentum just so damn good down the back straightaway is pull even with him down into turn 3 and 4 again. Turns 3 and 4 door to door. Oh, they almost make contact. Rodriguez gets up into the wall harder this time. That's going to open the door for James Nelson to make a move through on the inside of Rodriguez up to third. Thinking about going to the inside of S3 down to turn 1 and 2, but that's not going to happen. 7 to go that time at the line for Ken Peck, who leads it by 0.4 of a second down the back straightaway. Peck continues to lead here. Going to be 6 to go at the line. You throw a blanket over second, third, and fourth as Rodriguez shoving the 75 down the front straightaway. Nelson's going to take an off-road adventure through the infield. He's going to come back up on the track. Can't imagine he's happy with the 79 after that move. That's going to move Rodriguez into third. Nelson all the way back to 7th. So that's not the good turn of events that the 75 wanted. We got a battle a little further back between Barnett, Kurgelek, and Chad Snyder here entering turn 3 with 6 to go. Be 5 at the line. Barnett gets by the Snyder 26. He's bringing Kurgelek with him as they both clear Snyder down across the line. 5 laps to go for Ken Peck. Leads it here over Esri by 0.3 of a second down into turn number 1. Out of turn number 4 they come down the back straightaway. That was turn number 2. Continues to hold the lead here over Esri does Ken Peck, with Travis Rodriguez holding on to third. The gap back to Greg Barnett in 4th, Kurgelek in 5th, Snyder in 6th, and then Nelson after his off-road adventure will be in the 7th position. 4 to go at the line that time. They work the turns 1 and 2 end pretty clear and free down the back straightaway. Peck driving that number 16 Camaro right into the living room as the gap has stayed pretty whole over the last couple of laps at about 0.2 of a second. Out of turn number 4, back down to the stripe. Ken Peck 3 to go this time from the starter as we work here on the final 4.5 miles from Las Vegas. Out of turn number 2 again, Peck continues to hold that lead up to about 0.3 of a second. Rodriguez still in this one, 0.8 off as Ken Peck looks to pick up his first career All-American Racing League win, and he is 3 miles away from doing just that here at Las Vegas. Down across the stripe, 2 to go that time. The high limit, 325, has only got 3 miles to go, and Ken Peck leading the way here over Chris Essery and Travis Rodriguez out of turn number 2. Peck still in control of this one, halfway down the back straightaway, looking for the white flag this time out of turn number 4. Out of turn number 4, Peck will pick up the white hanky, 1 to go. Next one will finish it, checkered or caution as they work their way down to turn number 1. Quarter of a second the difference between first and second as Peck will ride the bottom around turn 1 and 2. Get a great run off of turn 2 down the back straightaway. Essery is right there though, under 0.2 of a second now, 1.45 seconds the difference. Peck will drive it in first. Essery will be right there on his back bumper though. Can he make the move, get into the back corner panel of the number 16? He cannot. He makes the hard right hand turn, going to lose it and spin out coming to the line. Going to hold on for second. Rodriguez will come home in third. Kerjlak fourth. Greg Barnett in fifth. Snyder in sixth. Nelson in seventh. As they are wrecking. The wrecking ensues post-race here. As the checkered is out on this one, picking up his first ever All-American Racing League win, becoming our third winner of the season, Ken Peck in that number 16. We are going to take a second here to see if we can get some drivers for post-race interviews here from Las Vegas. So we're going to grab a word with tonight's third place finisher, Travis Rodriguez. Hey Travis, it's Nathan in the booth. You got a copy?
What's going on, buddy?
Third place tonight here from Las Vegas. Continues a great start to your 2025 season. Obviously not the way you wanted to finish last week, but we won't worry about that. Back on the podium again here tonight.
Oh, yeah. So iRacing says I got second, so we'll see how that goes at the end of all this. But, yeah, no, I mean, it was a good race. I had enough pace. I was able to manage the tires pretty well. I do need to apologize to Chris because underneath him coming off of 2, I got just the front end shoved, and there was nothing I was about to be able to do to keep it off of him, and I kind of put him in the wall really bad. But, no, it was a pretty good race.
All right, well, congrats again on another podium. Helps you stretch the points lead, I'm sure, a little more, but we'll see you next week from Homestead.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, that was tonight's third place or runner-up. We're not 100% sure. We'll get to the bottom of it after, but right now we're going to grab a word with Chris Essery. Hey, Chris, it's Nathan in the booth. You got a copy?
I got you.
Great. We're not sure. Travis said he finished second. I thought you finished second, but either way, a top 3 for you here. Big bounce back week at Las Vegas. Got to be pretty good.
Yeah, definitely like the third. Took a shot at first. Almost had it, but I mean, after everything we went through, I'll take the third. I'm happy with it.
Yeah, got into a couple of racing incidents, but nothing that slowed you down too much. And obviously, congrats on the podium finish. And we'll see you next week from Homestead.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
All right, that was Chris Essery, and then we'll grab a word with tonight's winner, his first All-American Racing League win for Ken Peck. Here, we'll see if we can get a word with Ken. Hey, Ken, it's Nathan up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, I do.
Congrats on picking up your first All-American Racing League Cup Series win here at Vegas. Obviously, you had a pretty dominant car over the last stage there, the second half of the back half of the race, and then that caution came out and really threw a wrench in things, but able to get by Travis and pick up the win.
Yeah, the caution helped me. Travis was coming on that run, but the caution helped me. I knew Chris would be there, so I was running it as hard as I could.
Well, the good thing is over those last 19 or so laps, you didn't have to really worry about saving tires, so you could kind of go all out, and obviously had the good car in the right spot to win it. Chris made a move there coming out of 4, but spun himself through the infield, so congrats on the win, and hopefully this will be first of many here this season.
I hope so, and I appreciate you.
All right, no problem, Ken. We'll hopefully talk to you again next week after Homestead.
All right, thank you very much.
All right, that was tonight's top 3 in no particular order because we're not 100% sure. Ken Pack definitely the winner of this one, and then the battle for second at the line between Chris Essery and Travis Rodriguez. We'll have to sort that out post-race to see what we can come up with. It looks like Travis got him based on a screenshot that someone else shared. So it looks like Travis will finish in second, and Chris Essery will be third, coming across the line sideways. What a finish to the Las Vegas race. Again, that late race caution definitely threw a wrench in a great race. Obviously, having those fresh tires on everyone made for a heck of a finish here from Las Vegas. We're going to take a quick look at the official race results. I'm not sure what it'll say. It does show Travis in second. So there we go. Two different things. Showed two different things on my screen. So anyways, Ken Pack obviously picked up the win, and he will be followed by Travis Rodriguez across the line in second. Chris Essery comes home in third after sending it through the infield there on the final lap coming out of turn number 4. Mike Kurdzlek and Greg Barnett round out your top 5. Chad Snyder, James Nelson, Curtis Sauber, Tyrone Yo, and Larry Garnes will come home in 6th through 10th. Dave Lurfano, unfortunately, after his incident with Dave Hara, finishes 3 laps down, and the last car running at the end of this one. And then Jim Hubble, Sean Horlander, Dave Hara, and Greg Robinson, unfortunately, unable to finish this one here tonight. As I mentioned to the other drivers, we will be back on the air for the All-American Racing League next Thursday from Homestead Miami Speedway. So be on the air from Homestead next week. Should be a great race. Homestead always presents good finishing races. So I'm going to pull something up here if I can. Maybe it'll work. Maybe it won't work. That doesn't look like it's working. So I had a picture of the finish, but it doesn't seem to be showing up for whatever reason. Either way, we'll join you again next Thursday, but more importantly, join us tomorrow night for the SimWorld Racing presentation of the Quick Finishers Racing League. Again, live from Las Vegas. It'll be their 5th race of the season also. So happy to get back on the air with the Quick Finishers Racing League and broadcast some of their races on Friday nights for you guys. Again, thanks for joining us here from Las Vegas tonight. Glad you could be along, and make sure you tune in tomorrow for that one, and then next Thursday for the Cup race, round 6 from Homestead for the AARL.